I just love the fact, the minimal motion, or the fact that you know, it takes a smaller amount of effort to move a person than I would typically think. Well, you know, it's interesting to see the large motion and how he minimizes it, because it's really the same thing, just condensed, it seems. And just the way he moves, you move the body and the angles, you're accomplishing pretty much the same thing with just a lesser amount of effort. So I like when he showed the contrast of this is how it is shown, you know, in a large way, and this is how we minimize it. Although when he first minimizes it, it's hard to catch it at first. It's like, wait a minute, what? I didn't. It was so small you can't even see it. And then when you have it done to you, you can feel it, and then once you start to understand it, as he so you know, he explains it so well, you can see how it works. And then especially when you go to apply it and do it correctly a couple of times, you get the feel of it. I mean, you know, the DVDs, I have the DVDs and they're wonderful, but when you're here live and working on different body types, you know, you got a big guy, you got a small guy, you've got somebody with big wrists, small wrists. Each one is so different, and just Tony's way of just teaching is just, he simplifies everything so that you can understand it so well.
Hi, I'm Jim Van Gutten. I do Aikido at Avon Kempo and Aikido. This is probably my third or fourth year coming back, yeah. I've heard that that's a common way of teaching, going large to small, and I've done large. Now I'm learning the small, and it seems so much more effective, and it seems so much more exciting. When I go back and do the large circle stuff, it's almost like, why am I doing this? I want to come back and learn more small circle and invisible Aiki. Try it, you'll like it. It's an absolutely wonderful teaching method, teaching by principle. I don't really have a favorite technique. I'm taking all of the techniques, and of course we're going through so many in a 4-hour period, I won't possibly remember them all until I get the DVD in the mail and say, oh yeah, I remember all these. What I'm really trying to cement in my mind is the principles that work across all the techniques, and that's really exciting.
Like this, and I want you to curve your fingers a little bit, and then I want you to go. So it's not this way. It's okay. It's like you're doing wrist exercise. Okay. Okay. Inside. You want to try it? This stuff is great for multiple person self-defense. Okay, Paul? Remember I said, now you can't do that exactly the same because you'll run into the punch. That's what I mean about, we'll do these later on with various attacks. Yeah? Okay, so your job, should you decide to accept it, okay? Have a good time.
Nelson Shu. I think that anyone who says, those who haven't studied martial arts, especially those that have, I think the minimal motion, the triangulation, the off-balancing is a tremendous different perspective for any martial artist, and that they should experience it. So I would encourage them to come take a session.
I study aiki-ju-jutsu, Takeshin.
Okay, and is this your first seminar here?
This is my first seminar, yeah.
And what did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. It's a great opportunity for a beginning student like myself. Yeah, I think it's necessary to start, especially at my level, to start big and then go to minimal, and then you realize that it actually, what is a more advanced technique is possible even with basic movements. Well, I think the techniques basically that the friction techniques were a favorite.
Anything you'd like to say to somebody who's never been to this?
Yeah, I think the seminar is great because you really get a chance to have a diversity of different instruction and different opportunities to meet different people that bring something new or different than you haven't thought of before in your own dojo.
Okay. You have to immediately evaluate who is moving because you don't want to be off your center. You want to stabilize everybody. So I'll go like this so they feel stabilized. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, now I'd say Wade is the guy that I have to get first because he can knock me off my base more easily. So I get him first. Okay, I'll explain that later. Okay, I got to keep this guy behind me leaning forward. If he takes me back, I'm dead meat. So I'm going to brace with my chin and keep my butt out a little bit. Now I want to get rid of either these guys or him. Okay, now it's fairly easy. I shift him into him, drop, and then shrug him. Okay, now let's go individually if you can get the same pieces.
Wade Munson.
And what style of martial arts?
I studied Takeshin, aiki-ju-jutsu, and Daito-ryu Robokai.
So I assume you've been here for some of these seminars before.
A number of them over the years.
Well, what did you think about this one?
This one was really good. It's the first one I've been to in probably 7-8 years, and Sensei Nishi's skill has improved from what I remembered, even though it was already amazing. But the small details he was able to give this time kind of gave me a few aha moments that I haven't had in a while. So it was very helpful from the standpoint of not technique, but just what's the motion.